Hi lads, welcome to Anfield Road TV. I'm Kev, also known as Spider LFC online. How are you keeping tonight? Bit of a jam-packed show. Bit of news for the Liverpool v Brentford build-up. Arne Schlatt's first game at home at Liverpool, if you want to count a first official game, home at Anfield. And lots more news as well therein. There's been signings, but not of the ilk that you think. I'm going to start off tonight with some, as usual, as we've been doing recently, some live comments, or people leaving comments below the last and previous videos, and we touch base with a few of them, and we try to get back to everybody as much as we can. So Pauline Barbara 5665 said a couple of hours ago, it's 3 players, 2 of whom I'm thinking that she means the sale of Bobby Clark, Sepp Vandenberg, and Matip. It's 3 players, 2 of whom are always being loaned out. The other, an academy player. Also, I suppose she means Carvalho. Talk of other academy players being sold, but mainly they're talking about loans. So hardly an exodus. We've also made 62 million, including sell-on fee for Solanke. I think that's pretty good. If it's Simicas or Gomez leave, that's first team players, so they will be replaced. That's exactly what we said last night on the show. But I think she kind of went into a point where she just looked at the title of the video and then just commented on it, saying mass exodus. So I think she's just commenting on the exodus. She didn't watch any of the video, maybe. So that's what we'll say there. Genghis Hassan. Okay. It would be good if FSG could comment on the games they watch and provide some motivation and feedback. Would be good for FSG to motivate their staff and communicate with the fans. There would be much more love if we knew they cared, we knew they feel what we're thinking, and advise their position and positives. Instead, we as fans are left guessing and let down because we are in the dark, questioning why we are one of the most profitable clubs, but also mid-table in terms of signings. Where's the transparency? With regards to that, I don't think you see many owners engaging with the fans unless it's somebody. I remember the Crystal Palace owner being fairly good like that. I remember Delia Smith being fairly handy like that, but it's very, very rare you get full-on owners of the club. It's mostly the chairman and people like Edwards and all of that are the face, or the negotiator guys down the line, which is now going to be Richard Hughes. This is why he's been pictured next to Arne Schlatt, because these are 2 guys that are going to be dealing with negotiations and signings. Whereas Edwards is the guy that sanctions everything now for the club. FSG are long gone, lads. I'll keep saying that over again. They're gone off doing their little venture away. They'll only come back if the club goes into a disaster or something happens, In that front, you're never going to get owners that are transparent or businessmen. Anybody who does is just probably a fan of the club. So what you'd need an owner who's a fan of the club outright, so that he could relate. You had a problem where somebody was too vocal, like Mike Ashley at Newcastle, who flaunted it in front of people that he just didn't care what they thought. So that's the kind of owner you really don't want running your club. So if me personally, I don't even want to know, hear, or even deal with the owners unless they leave the club about to go under or something like that, which is why everybody went for Hicks and Gillette that time. They were just making up excuses. They were so vocal in front of the fans all the time that it was just excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, and never really doing anything to solve it. It was just lie after lie, and then there was no money there. So you have to wonder what kind of transparency you want. If I was to have a transparent owner, I'd want him to be an absolute fan of the club, not just somebody who bought us and became a fan, somebody who's a lifelong fan and can be transparent that way. Anyway. I have a feeling last day of the window we announced new signings, but it will be the boys have new contracts. Like that year, they announced Henderson's last contract, like it was a new signing. I totally agree there. Me and Jack said something similar yesterday on the show. We were saying that if they go down and they don't make signings, which, all right, I'm going to go in the middle, as you know me. I don't care about FSG. I don't care about that. I'm looking at the squad. The squad is a very, very strong squad. I'd want the right signing in over just the signing. There's, like, according to the lads that do the data, and we're supposed to be trusting Michael Edwards and his data, and everybody's like, in Edwards we trust this and Edwards we trust that, but the minute, like, there's the minute he comes out and says, well, the data suggests that there's nobody there that meets the likes of Zubimendi or somebody else that they're after, and they're willing to wait. We did the same thing with Virgil van Dijk, and we waited for him. And people were screaming in that transfer window, why didn't we get somebody else, and why didn't we get somebody else, and why didn't we get somebody else? And Virgil van Dijk came in, and we ended up, winning the earlier Champions League that year and going for the league. So, and it was the right call. Look what Virgil van Dijk has done for this club since. So it was the right call for him to believe. So I'm inclining to use my head and not my heart in this one, and just kind of think, at the end of the day, if Michael Edwards says that Zubimendi is the type of guy that we need, then that's the type of guy we're going to wait for. And I'm grand. No problem. I've no problem with that. If you trust Gravenberch and the lads in there, no problem. Anyway, let's look at the comments. I think Alex Macklin says, no signing, lads can't even get the transfer of Valencia goalkeeper. Embarrassing. Wasn't that agreed for 35 million? I heard. Helio Mattis, evening. Javi Blair's transfer to Portsmouth has been officially confirmed, with the youngster moving up for initial 300,000, which could be doubled in add-ons, and there's also 20%. So that's 800,000 package. So yeah, 300,000 initially. That's good. They get to get that from, which is good. Growing up, it was always Liverpool in my heart. Wearing the red shirt and playing for the first team was a dream come true. Thank you, Liverpool FC, for the memories, the lessons, and the unwavering support. Thank you again. Now it's time to start the next chapter. You never walk alone. And I assume that we've got some sort of buy-back, sell-on clause in there as well on top of that. So if we were to buy, we would get those deals done, I think. So Harvey Blair's gone to Portsmouth. It's probably a good sale. I mean, I think Jayden Danns is ahead of him in the pecking order, to be honest with you. Clark went the other day. I think Naoni now is ahead of him in the pecking order. I think that's why we got him from Leicester. I think Liverpool see a real talent there in the wine. You've seen the goal that he scored, against Sevilla, and it didn't look out of place at all. So, we would always complain if we were seeing, that it was young players that were backing up that didn't really have much game time, that were coming on the pitch to try and win a game for us, and people were complaining. But if we got the talent like that waiting in the wings, and the other guys that were still able to do a good job for us last season are being sold on for a profit, I'm all for that. Right players also gets injured, so they need cover. They do, and hell, I do believe that there's cover in the team at the moment. When I'm saying that, I mean, you've got Gravenberch, you've got Wataru, and you've got the idea of Tyler Morton being able to play there. I don't even know if Bajcetic is gone yet. I haven't seen any news on that. And if they decide to keep him, I don't think they let him go unless they knew there was somebody coming in. I think Bajcetic would have gone out the door if Zubimendi came in. That's what I think. And I think the fact that Zubimendi didn't come in, I think Liverpool are kind of saying that maybe, we might move on these type of players now. I don't know whether he's gone yet. I haven't looked it up, but I haven't been following Bajcetic, to be honest with you. I've been more looking towards what we're doing defensively in that mindset, because I'm, as I said, Arne Slot plays with a double pivot now, so even McAllister can drop in there and Jones can go left at the top. Just remember, guys, McAllister's well capable of playing the double pivot. He's very similar to Zubimendi in a way, in the stuff he's able to do. So if we had, let's say, somebody getting like Wataru Endo get injured, he can't back up, and Morton's not there and he's moved on, McAllister can easily drop into that double pivot. Jones can go up ahead of him, or Harvey Elliott, or Szoboszlai, and vice versa on the other side. We've got a good abundance of players that's within the squad. And also remember, Arne Slot likes to play with a smaller squad. Oh, he mightn't learn that lesson when he gets to the Premier League, but I'd rather have around 20, 21 players there. He likes playing with a squad of about 17. So 17, 18, something like that. And I think we do well to kind of trust in his judgment of what we can do with the squad. Like, we can't, as a fan base, you can't be crying blue murder that the season is over when we don't make a sign, just any signing to come in the door. We have an academy there for that, and if the right world-class player isn't ready to come into the team, or he's not there, then we'll grow from within. And I have to agree with the way Edwards and co run the club like that, because I would never like to be like United boy when they see that there's something wrong in that area, and when they do, it never ever works out for them. I think maybe Bruno Fernandes is one that works, and we can't stand him as a player. Anybody else in the fan base besides United fans can't stand him because of his attitude and the way he throws himself around the place crying. So, but there's a gifted footballer in there, So I just don't want to go down that road of I'd be disgusted to look at a fella like that in the pitch and just say he plays for this club. I was that way. I had that emotion years ago when I had Juff in the team, and I was like, this dude is just not right for Liverpool. He's got a terrible attitude. Anyway, Alisson Becker reveals Arne Slot's defensive demands. We know the offensive quality that we have, so if we can defend the same way as we attack, if we can be that good, it will really be good for us this season to achieve our goals. I'd say no shite, Sherlock. That's probably the obvious of what we need to do. But look, if we can keep... Look, lads, we're going into this season with a fully fit squad for the first time in a long time. There's other seasons where we didn't make signings, we didn't do anything, and we fellas injured and we didn't cover that, and that was more, crying bloody murder. We're in such a good place going into the season, squad health-wise, and we're bringing through even more talented youngsters that can come to fruition within the squad. Last year we introduced Conor Bradley, and the dude looks like he could play a right back for any team in the Premier League. We have you never even know. Slot might like to use the inverted. He might put Trent right back. He might even stick Conor in a DM role, because he's mostly spent his time when he's playing on the pitch up in that right hand side of the pivot DM role. He rarely goes back to the right back. So there's other scenarios where that can happen as well. It's just that I understand the whole Zubimendi upset, and I understand that we went for Caicedo last year, but that was because of Klopp, and Klopp wanted one lad sitting on the end of the pivot. This time we have two sitting and one forward, and there's more. You're hitting that double pivot with the ability to rotate these three lads around to do the same thing. So that's what we're after. Anyway, Fabrizio Romano. Arne Slot, no signings yet. I'm not worried. I trust the team. I inherited a very good squad. The players showed us last weekend they have earned that trust. Mamardashvili deal, until the deal is done, you won't hear from us. So that deal is just getting done. I think it's just personal terms. I think maybe Liverpool are looking to try and keep Alisson for 2 years, and Mamardashvili wants to say, I want an opportunity to take a crack at him next year, maybe. It's all of these kind of things. But I think the deal has been agreed with Valencia a long while ago. It's always just down to the player. I think, going forward, I think deal be done. Everybody's kind of crying out, but why isn't the Mamardashvili deal done? It's only been announced about a week ago. Mourinho for Arsenal just signed, and that thing was going on for 7 or 8 weeks. I'm pretty sure people think that lads go over, make a phone call, and then the deal is done and dusted. There's contact made long before that. It's just the fact that they can keep it out of the media. That's the skill. That's the skill for most of the guys in Liverpool, that are keeping it out of the media until the very last second, and that's a job well done from them. So I think we've been in touch with Mamardashvili since the end of the what would you call it? The end of the Euros, and I think that he's told that he wants to come. I don't know what the deal with Alisson is, but if we see an opportunity there that Yaros is a third choice fella to come in, and there's and Kelleher is looking to go and play first team football, so it's the right call to bring in somebody of a good level to come in and either battle for Alisson or replace Alisson in a couple of seasons. Anyway, we move on. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Liverpool have completed deal for 16-year-old talent Alvin Ayman to join the academy from Wolves. 5-year deal, 2 million compensation fee, and Premier League's 5-step approval now completed. So that's the young lad from Wolves. So we're propping up. We're moving lads out of the academy, and we're propping back up the academy. So I mean that's a good thing for me. But you see, Matip was the only one that kind of needed replacing within the squad, and with Joe Gomez fit now, he's kind of thereabouts our utility 4-choice kind of centre back guy. Obviously Slot prefers Kanate and Verge in there, and then to be backed up by Kwanzaa and Gomez. I don't have a problem with that, to be honest with you. But yeah, like most other Liverpool fans, I would like to see a left-hand sided centre back, left back kind of guy coming in, like in Capia or somebody like that. Anyway, truth in plain sight. Very interesting how Slot responded to the questions he had regarding transfer, and making it quite clear that he trusts the players. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They'll sign a player if the right one arrives, or is needed, or not needed, but if the right one pops up that suits the system, and if not, they won't. We're in a lucky place that we're not. I'll repeat myself again. That we're not Manchester United or Chelsea or these guys that need to replace their squad every year or two because they're just not playing right for them. Everybody in our team seems to be doing well. And even the backup, even the understudies, they all seem to be doing well. I'm still not confident to sign any signing except the keeper. Hi Tony, how's it going, man? A lot of people would think that they were worried about that as well with the keeper situation, but I think he really wants to come to Liverpool because he's staying at Valencia anyway. I think it's just like just a few bonus situations. Maybe there's a naming rights issue. Maybe there's something like that going on. But I think that'll be done and dusted anyway. Anyway, Ladbrokes. Paul Gorst says Liverpool have announced a new multi-year partnership with Ladbrokes that will see the bookmakers become the club's official betting partner in UK and Ireland. Paul Gorst, Ben Lafferty, LFC's chief commercial officer. This new partnership also enables Ladbrokes to continue driving forward with its local community work, using football to increase physical and mental well-being, particularly in areas of high social deprivation. So, I mean, if the people will say, "Oh, it's a betting shop" or whatever like this, but like every single stadium or football stadium or other sports stadium on the planet has a betting shop somewhere on its stadium or a stall that you can go and do these bets and do what you need to do. And this is just a deal from them. I mean, gambling isn't illegal. It's just that if it's done right. Now, if Ladbrokes put in community incentives to say that, how we bet is that we do the right way, do the right thing, teach education on what betting actually is and not just have the endorphins to go and bet stupidly week in, week out, and do that to the youth before, they listen to some of their elders that are just going into the betting shops every day and betting all their money away. Don't listen to those guys, listen to the guys that are there, because these companies have made more than enough money. If they wanted to just make money all the time, like every single time, outright, they wouldn't do any of these community efforts. They wouldn't get involved. They wouldn't care. They would just say, "Look, bet your money or don't bet your money. We have a partnership. We give you loads of money to be our partner, and that's it." So it's good that they're doing all these incentives to look after people's mental health and well-being, and to guide them in the right path to better betting or their association with betting. Anyway, insights. In a run stretching back to 1939, Liverpool have won each of their last 5 home games against Brentford, keeping a clean sheet each time. Brentford have won just 1 of their 6 Premier League, 7 tomorrow, meetings with Liverpool, drawn 1, lost 4. At least one team has scored 3+ goals in 5 of those 6 games, with the exception of being a 1-0 win for the Reds in May 2023. Liverpool have lost just 2 of their last 61 Premier League home games, 46 wins and 13 draws, while they haven't lost at Anfield in the opening month of the season since 2015, and that was a 3-0 loss to West Ham, which I believe that was somebody's first game, if I remember rightly. Liverpool, I would say, no, that was West Brom for, that would have 2015, that would have been definitely Wee Joe Lover. Brendan Rodgers. So that was coming to the end of his tenure, actually. So there you go. Liverpool are looking to start their Premier League season with 2 consecutive wins for the first time since 2021-2022, a season in which they started with an away win at newly promoted East Anglian team, 3-0 v Norwich. They beat Ipswich 2-0 at Portman Road last weekend. Brentford have won 4 of their last 7 Premier League matches, drawn 1, lost 2, more than in their previous 21 games combined. So yeah. That's good omens there anyway. Tony, how are we, man? Thanks very much. I'm grand, bud. I'm grand. I'm great. Anyway, we'll get to some of the comments there. Is it Steve Jory equation of words we use? No doubt our squad is boss. I think so. Anyway, Slot had nowhere near the squad like he has now when he was at Feyenoord. We need to trust the words coming from him. We can't make decisions for him. Exactly. It's really simple. It's really that simple. Nobody else than Romam have reported about the Alvin Ayman signing. I've waited for an official LFC confirmation for that deal since June. Still waiting. Could be recycling all news, Some people call him a tapping merchant. Some people call him a legit journalist. I can't decide which. But we have signed someone, an academy player from Wolves. That's it. Yeah. Well, it's academy. You're replacing academy. I mean, at least we're replacing somebody's in there. I mean, look, Matip leaving, as they said, if Sepp Vandenberg and Gomez left, we'd be replacing somebody because he'd need 4 centre-back choices. And the fact that Gomez is not left or not leaving yet, which I'm okay with. He did very well for us last season. Then we're not going to be going for a signing now, but we might be looking at it in January or so. The squad is great, but with more games and competitions and maybe injuries, we are losing squad rotation. I don't see, when you look at Arsenal have less players than us. They've only got like 14 good squad members in their team. The rest are a couple of kids that haven't played games yet. If you go and look at it, we're actually in a better position squad wise than Arsenal. 7 by Chet is more likely to leave on loan, than stay this window. Reports for Swascom. Surely that would mean Tyler Morton stays put. I would like Tyler to be given a chance. I've been saying it for the last while that he should be given a chance. So anyway, what was the next comment there, Jack? Sorry. Hate to be a downer, but I feel like the club is about to get a quick wake-up call from Brentford this weekend. Fabio and Sepp has gone to them. Any chance Fabio plays, he's going to want to run. He's going to want to turn up. I to be honest with you, I even though they won last weekend, I had Brentford as one of the teams that drop away. The fact that they won their opening game and got 3 points on the board gives them a bit of a lift. But then you have to come to Anfield and take on a team like this. Now this I have to talk about with Flash Score, right? So I can understand all the little results there. So can somebody please explain to me? Right, I'm thinking this is going to be a similar team to what we're going to see tomorrow, playing against Brentford. But can somebody please tell me how Gravenberch got a 6.7 and was one of our best players on the pitch, and Quansah got a 7.6 but was pulled off at half time because he didn't win enough duels. Flash Score, get yourself together. Get in touch with yourself. Have a good talk with yourself in the mirror. That should be the opposite way around, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not saying that Quansah didn't do too much wrong. He just didn't win enough aerial duels according to Slat. So he needed to change something in there. And this could be the potential team for Brentford tomorrow. Irish lad Nathan Collins being the pick of the bunch. Nathan? I just call him Collins. Ayer looks like he could be he had a poor day in a 3-0 win at 6.4. And Jensen. So that side looks fairly weak for an old Trent and Salah 1-2. What do you think? Hopefully anyway. And on the left hand side, Rozier is we got Diaz on that side. So it should suit. Mbuemo is dangerous. Viss is dangerous for getting in position. I haven't seen too much of Shade. Is it Shade or Shade? I don't know. It's Shade. Rest of the lads are fairly coherent anyway. Collins, good. Centre back. Liverpool to win 3-0, Phil, heavy win, especially being on Sunday afternoon exactly. It's not a 12:30 kickoff where we need to wake ourselves up and then turn the game around in the second half again. This is 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday where we've been preparing since the previous Saturday at 12:30. So, grab 6.2 and Rob was 7.9. Hey, Jack, you've grown a beard, mate. All right, hi, lad. I hope you're well. I would expect Grav got the job done via Ipswich. He deserves a chance to make the number 6. It's not. I won't even say it's a number 6, man. I'm going to keep correcting people on this, and it's no slighting it. People keep talking about a number 6, but that was on the Klopp. We don't play with a number 6 on the tab. We play with 2 pivots. So all we need is a good tackling, progressive player. That's it. If we get McAllister is one of those. Gravenberch is one of those, and we've just found that out recently that he's really a good tackler and he really gets into good positions. And the ability to back up. Szoboszlai is capable of doing that as well. But you got those 3 rotating there. They'll keep going 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 the whole way. And I would say Gravenberch is going to be. I was about to say that Gravenberch is going to be a key player for us tomorrow. I hope. Trent, obviously, and Salah. And hopefully, lads, we get those 2 lads' contracts sorted along with Verge's. When this window closes and there's no riffraff floating around getting in their ears and stuff like that, and they're playing their football and they see that Liverpool's the place to be and they can do well there. I think you develop Quansah for another season under a slot system, and he'll be almost ready in the next season or 2 to take over from Verge, or to really back up Verge or sit next to Verge or whatever. All depends on Konaté's injury worries, but if that's the case, and people are worried about Joe Gomez as well and his injury, he didn't really have an injury. Like, he had 2 major injuries, no like knock injuries. No, he wasn't like a Sturridge or a Thiago where it just kept going and it kept going and it kept going. He had 2 big injuries that it took a long time to recover from, and because they're pretty bad ones. I know you get the meniscus and you get all of these kind of ones and the ones that happen to Harvey, your ACLs and your all of these kind of injuries. They're all take months to recover from, but you do recover from them. But broken bones and things like that, man, they can do damage to muscles around them, which take longer to repair. But it's always the same injury that was just kind of slowly getting back to fitness. But anyway, hopefully, you've seen him last season. He played a load of games last season, and he was such a good utility person for us. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Score predictions, lads. Stick them in the chat there. Don't mind. I just hope we go 3-0 quick. We don't do whatever we did on the clock and respect the office. I don't see any respect. If anything, I think we get stronger as we go along under Slot. I think Slot likes to do this thing where he reads the team where they're playing at the start, and then straight away he's just like, okay. And you see him on the sideline doing the numbers, this and that, and then he sees this team is playing that way. No, this is the way you play. This is where you can pass to. This is where you can pass in between. So, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nunes fits in. I don't think we've seen the last of him. I'm hoping we don't see the last of him. I really want the lad to do well. I mean, if Jota gets injured, he's the guy we got to rely on now. And he still hasn't, stood up in terms of being the player that Liverpool need him to be. So we'll see. He's probably had the least amount of play time on the Slot yet. From coming back, one of the latest guys to come back. Alisson's okay as a goalkeeper, he knows what he's doing in goal. He doesn't have to run too far or do much thing, but Nunes has got a lot of learning to do on the Slot, and hopefully he grows from here, which would be great. 2-1 for Panov. I think it'll be more than that. I think we're going to be hitting kind of like 3 goals most games with this type of football and team. We just have to, ensure that the back line catches up to the front line and slots it. So, and okay, they were well. You've seen in the second half, we were solid. We were very, very good. So hopefully, Mark 3-1. Callum says Liverpool 3, Brentford 0, Salah double, and Van Dijk. It's a good shout there. I think you're going to see like some McAllister and all that play a vital role. Maybe Diaz play a vital role. I do think Salah will get in the score sheet again. I think he's on fire, to be honest with you, at the moment. And yeah, I think that's the bones of it. I don't know how many of you in there. Lads, there's 14 of you in there. You can leave your thoughts on Thomas Frank there in the chat. There's 14 of you in there. If you could give a like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and make sure that you ensure that we pop up in your timeline when we do go live, and just for other information, general information as well. And only shot one tonight, Reds. Only shot one tonight. Yeah, it'll be nice and short. But the other one is as well, because Jack started his channel on his own. Just how long ago is it now, Jack? 6-7 years ago? 7? Something like that. So, if you guys know any local businesses, oh, there you go, look, you can throw he threw something up there himself. This season we're looking for sponsors on the channel to help build a new season. Local or business are welcome in regards to inquiries. So if anybody knows anyone that wants to get their business up and running, giving it a kickstart, we'd be happy to help and agree a working partnership. With a global reach and with the data to showcase the years of target markets to maximize growth opportunities for all parties. Ideally, industries in sport, clothing, hospitality, and I suppose, Jack, you could add in betting into that. Hello, Ladbrooks. Are the most targeted industries. We will look to go into partnership to fully open the hearing to proposals that would align with the creative vision at Anfield Road TV. Any interested parties, please contact us directly via social media to seek further details. Right. So, yeah, no doubt, Salah and Diaz are danger men with the weaknesses of Russell and Ayer. They didn't seem to have great numbers even in a win last week, Mark says something there, Jack. What is it? Me and my dad were talking before. Slot isn't as animated as Klopp, and he doesn't understand why he would ban himself going into the changing rooms after game and training. I don't understand that either. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just something that he just does. He leaves the lads talk amongst themselves, and maybe they have something. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Well, he believes that him saying anything is not going to change much. If there's an issue, the players will tell each other. Now, whether that creates a bit of a rift or whatever, I think they're well able to talk to each other at this time. Anyway, Ancho thinks it's going to be 2-2. Ancho, what? What kind of guess market? Come on. If United the week afterwards, that's the time you maybe put in a draw, but I don't think it's. I think the way we schooled them a couple of weeks ago, I think we can go with. No, it's at Old Trafford. That's the difference. So we're going to be playing a lot of counter attack, counter pressing football there. Anyway, shooting to inside. Mark does not look like Slot is here to make friends with players. He will be ruthless in a nice way. Like Hook and Quance at halftime is a sign of good things to come. I think so as well. I think he needs to be a coach first and foremost, and a friend afterwards. They can build a relationship after the season winning things, because I don't think he wants to build a relationship with players that either one, don't want to be there, or two, they haven't won anything together yet. He has a point to prove and they have a point to prove to him. And I think that they have to build that relationship that way. And if that's how Slot likes to do it, that's how Slot likes to do it. You know, as we've seen in the last couple of seasons, hugs will only get you so far. But anyway, how we do love those hugs. We have to go into United game on fire. Absolutely. Never walking on to 7. I'll take that. That's better. I'll take that. That's it. Anyway, Fans says truth and plain sight. I would agree, mate. There you go. But so anyway, lads, if you know anybody who's a business and wanting to throw it up there, just message the channel and we can do something where, we showcase them a bit and vice versa. So whatever suits the channel, really. Anyway, Ancho says, at Callum, sorry lads, I hate to be negative, but I'm finding no confidence right now just by how the summer has gone. Hey, more outgoings only make our team weaker, and that team struggles with injuries. Okay, so I'm going to counter that straight away, Ancho. Right, you're living in right now. Your mindset is in. You're seeing outs and not ins, but you're not seeing what the outs are, and you're forgetting the results that we had in pre-season. And you're forgetting the way we were able to go up 2 gears against a really feisty team. Ipswich is a hard place to go to for the last few seasons. So, you're talking about Harvey Blair. You're talking about Matip leaving, Thiago leaving, who was mostly a sick note, to be honest with you. Let's be honest, guys. Gifted player, but a sick note. I think Thiago was replaced a long time ago within the squad. Well, I think he was replaced by McAllister, to be honest with you, if you're asking me. And you had Bobby Clark, who's now down the pecking order below Nioni, and Jones is there as well on that side, and they're both down below the pecking order of McAllister. So that's one of the reasons why they're going out. We had no main team players that left that were a constant in the last year or so. I mean, Matip he didn't play too often at all, in the last year and a half or so of his contract. He was just, he spells where he'd come on, he might play for a month or two, and then he was gone again injured for the next couple of months. So, I think Quanza played more games than he did last season. I think Joe Gomez played more games maybe at left back than anybody else. So if anything, we should look at his left back, because Klopp didn't trust Simicast last year, and even though Simicast has improved a bit this year, I don't think he's still up to the scratch. Anyway, all right, Mark, not much for the marital problems as well as health problems, but trying to keep things okay for the kids, mate. Just sorry to hear that, Hannah. Jesus. One of the best players from pre-season has signed for our opponents this weekend. Yeah, but he was getting into those positions because of what the other team does. It's because of the counter press, because of the underlap and the overlap. He wouldn't have gotten in those positions. Carvalho was one of our good players as well under Klopp in a pre-season and up until the Newcastle game, come back a season or two ago, and then just dropped off because he couldn't keep up with the pace of how it was played. But in saying that, I think they see more of a future for Nioni, and Jones is already there in that position rather than give it to Carvalho. And on the left hand side again, further you have Gakpo and Diaz, and with none of them leaving, Carvalho was never going to get time to play for Liverpool. So we really have to look at it with logical heads, lads. None of the players have left that were ever first team footballers at Liverpool, bar Matip, and Thiago has been gone for the last 2 seasons or so. So we have to look at it that way. There's nobody else that was there that's gone as a first team player. If Joe Gomez leaves, we'll sign somebody. If not, Seth, and everybody's on about, Seth has left and this. Now, when did Seth ever play for us? I don't understand. He never played football for us. He played a couple of pre-season games, went off on loan for 3 seasons, and came back. Bobby Clark played a couple of games last season. Meant to be one for the future. He had a deal with Klopp. If he came to the club, Klopp said, I'll play in first team games if you join us. He joined us. Klopp left the club. He knew he wasn't going to get first team football again after we signed Naoni and the ilk of these guys. And he made a great call to go to Linders under or to Salzburg under Linders. So yeah, Cavalli wanted to play number 10. He made a decision to leave. Exactly. See, that's what his limit is as well. He had a great goal in pre-season, but he was playing in a number 10 position when he did it. He wasn't playing out wing. So he didn't do much out the wing, but he did do it in the number 10 role to just a left attacking midfield side. But the slot didn't play with that kind of system. So he wasn't doing what last time, but he was still able to pick out a goal or two. So he's a gifted player, and we got good money from him to go to Brentford. Whether that comes back to bite us in the ass, I don't think he'll start tomorrow. I think he's brought in there to grow into the team throughout the season. But other than that, nobody that left was a first team player. Our squad is good and strong. The shout out for the number 6, which I don't know why people keep calling Zubamendi a number 6. When he came on for Rodri, they immediately switched to a double pivot to do counter attacks. Because when Rodri's an out and out number 6, Zubamendi can play the 6, but he also plays a double pivot role, which was essential to why Liverpool went after him. Anyway, just memes. David Ornstein has said something very interesting about us when he was invited to the overlap. Like the other 12 months, had 12 months budget of who to buy, and us using Edwards came and did a swift move. I'm missing that one, I don't know. When he was invited to the overlap, other teams had 12 months of budget of who to they have 12 months of who to buy, and they have 12 months of work done to buy, but they did things pretty quickly. It does, because when you look at the boys came in, Hughes only came in the end of the summer. Edwards came in back in the spring, and Hughes only came in the summer. So Edwards came in, and then he had to get used. So he had to get used then, and also then he had to also get these lads to go out and get the replacement for Klopp. And when you're thinking this way, the club would have already tried to do their way before Edwards came back in. So all of that was scrapped when Edwards came back in, and then they had to restart again. Edwards was doing his death, I think, to see who the best managers were. There was all talk of Xabi Alonso, there was all talk of De Zerbi and all of these people that were going to be coming to Liverpool. That was pre-Edwards coming back in, and before Klopp left. So no, the Edwards did his dad and said, no, Arne Slot is the guy that I would go with, and we'll go get him. But if to get this Richard Hughes fella from Bournemouth, we'll have to do a deal to get Richard Hughes in the door, because he's highly regarded and I work well with him and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then they get him in the door, and then Richard Hughes has to go out and start. His first thing is to go out and start talking to Zubamendi, who's an avid Basque lover and doesn't want to leave where he bloody lives. So that's very, very hard. It's a hard job to do first day. But if we're going for anybody else and there's negotiations going on, I expect him to sign everybody else that he's going for. If Zubamendi is one in the 10 that we sign, that we don't sign, then, so be it. But I mean, can't judge the dude on a fella saying no. He gave him like 4 times his wages, offered him houses, offered him everything that he possibly could. And apparently he turned his head, he said yes, and then it was like the club issues and the family issues saying, we might be able to stay here, and we might be able to double your wage, but we won't be able to quad it like Liverpool's. And it was all this humming and hand. When really, if he was really never going to leave, he should have just said no at the start a few weeks ago. And then Richard Hughes could have had time maybe to move on to somebody else. But now we're in this window where we're going out to the last couple of weeks, and they've got to go to the next. Well, they said they didn't have any data that came anywhere near Zubamendi's to suit them in the next couple of players. So he'll probably just say we'll be back for you in January. Probably do the Virgil van Dijk thing, where this time it was the club, or that time it was the club that was blocking Virgil. Virgil wanted to go. Maybe this time when he sees, how poorly Real Sociedad are going to do in leagues and Champions League, because they're not doing too well in the league at the moment, but I don't think they'll do anything in the Champions League either. I think they'll be bounced out of that straight away. And then you'll say, like, why didn't I make that decision? And we'll come knocking again in January, and that might be up. Anyway, Ancho says, those players was vital to us winning trophy and finishing third. We only weakened our team this year, even with Matip going, and he still had a part to play last season. I hope I'm wrong. But when saying that, with the people that were there, if those players weren't there, the next bunch of players would have come in and had the same contribution, because that's the quality of our academy. Our academy is trained in the right way. And if these players didn't play it, then the other guys would have played it. You know, I mean, even at this rate, like Doak and all of them who weren't even first teamers were, you know, they were injured at the time and couldn't play it. Anyway, Alonso will never be in charge after turning us down. I don't know. I think we respected his decision to stay at Leverkusen. Never say never about him in the future. I'm hoping that we don't have to talk about this for the next 10 years. I'm hoping that Slot comes in and does a fantastic job, and we never have to worry about managers like other clubs do every season or two. We've been very, very lucky, Tipwood, right, that we've had only a little blip in the last number of years for managers for long periods of time. And we beneath this for, what did he came in 2004? Yeah. So, and then he was gone 2010, is it? 2009, because then we had Hudson after that, and then and then we Kenny, who came in and won us a trophy again. And then, you know, Rodgers came in. He didn't do too badly, but, you know, he was taking on a juggernaut in City, and we kept up with him once under his reign, and then he dropped off a cliff. He didn't have the right players. Klopp came in and changed all of that. Like, Jurgen Klopp was a big part of that in the last, you know, 10, 15 years of what he did for the club. He just lifted the spirits of everybody around him, you know. And I think that's what the club needed at the time. But I think that kind of, when it got to these 9 years and stuff, I think it got to a point where we could see it, that it was draining him. And then to look at him, we were getting drained just looking at him, kind of saying, Jesus, that lad, I don't know if Jurgen Klopp will keep going, because he doesn't look healthy, you know. So anyway, based on what Arne said, Neola, I'd actually fully stand and agree on our current situations. Like, it's better we do our 12-month budget of whom to buy to suit rather than doing it swift. I agree with that, Memes. It's very hard to tell a fan base who just like to put signings in there, or certain elements of a fan base that like to put signings in there. That's common sense, and it's very hard to do. The first excuse anybody's going to give you online when they say that is, well, we know we've needed a number 6 for the last couple of seasons, but we don't need that was under Klopp. So under Slot, he plays with a double pivot. What we need is a pivot player. So there's other things. If we need a number 6, and Wataru Endo had good games for us last year, why isn't he automatically considered for the 6th role? Because he doesn't do what Slot needs him to do, which is the progressive passing side and the actual double defending pivot side. So he just doesn't fit in there, because he keeps dropping deeper than everybody else, and he leaves gaps, and that's what he doesn't like. Slot likes people to drop back together. If Gravenberch is dropping back, if you notice Gravenberch dropping back, it's because he's receiving it off Robbo, or he's receiving it off Trent, and then he lays it back up beyond to Trent or into Salah, who knocks it back. Or if it's gone long to Salah, it's either knocked down to Gravenberch or knocked down to Trent, and then there's a ball played through. One of them is making a run, so it works beautifully well. Anyway, where are we? Would you take an Ivan Toney, chat? Yes, I would. I'd take Ivan Toney in a second. He's a Liverpool fan. He would play for us. And it means we're not really taking a full chance on Nunez if it doesn't work out. I think the plan is becoming clear. We're only going to sign starting 11 players. We have enough depth. If Gomez leaves, we need a player of the same profile, quality, or better to replace him. I think Slot likes to play with a good quality. He likes a squad of 17 to 18 players. He likes 14 to 15 of them being top quality players, and then the rest would be, you know, up and comers or whatnot, like the Nioni in there. You know, we've got a good backup in Kelleher on the bench. Simicast is at the moment is deemed as a good backup to Robbo. You've got Joe Gomez and Jorel Quanso backing up Verge and Kanate. So I mean, that's 4 hitting straight away there. That's on top of your 11. So turmeric on my hands, lads. And you four hitting straight away there. Then if you consider Curtis Jones into that mix, that's 5 quality players there as backup. Then you're looking at Cody Gakpo. That's 6 backup players that are good sitting on the bench. Then you're looking at Darwin Núñez. That's 7 backup players that are good on the bench outside of your starting 11. So straight away, that's 18 players of high quality. When Arsenal have a top 14 to 15 and the rest just kind of fill in the gap. So I'm confident, Dara. I'm confident that we'll do well this season. I think we've got a good coach. I think we've got a good squad. And when you call it that way, if you call that Conor Bradley, let's go this way. Quevin Kelleher, Conor Bradley, Gerald Kwanzaa, Joe Gomez, Costas Tsimikas, Curtis Jones, Wataru Endo, Harvey Elliott, I say Harvey Elliott at the moment, right? Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo. There are 10 players that are not in the starting 11 right now. 10. And if you're looking at those 10 players and you're telling me that they haven't got enough experience, I know they're being topped off with Nayoni and maybe Martin or somebody like that on the thing. The squad is very, very good. We have to hold our hands up a second, take our heads out of the transfer business saga. The squad is very, very good. It's very, very strong. When you call out the names that are on that team, like bang. Yes, Kanata can get injured, bang, Kwanzaa can come in. Yes, Jota can get injured, bang, in can come Darwin Núñez, or Salah can move in there, Elliott can move out there. You can have Gakpo can move into the middle, Diaz can go to the left. There's an abundance of changeover aspects. If Gravenberch is new to the fray, so the fact that he's doing so well at the moment is even better. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there, but it's just we just have to not be worried about transfers in the way we are now. If you just said it to me straight after we won the league in 2021 or whatever, I'm like, who the hell is Sepp Vandenberg and why aren't we going for somebody else? What's going on here? What's happening? And then I realised, we're coming down into a spell where it's our 3-year turnover is finished, and I think we're watching the Bobs. So I think that's what happened there. Thiago would suit the system like a glove. Could do, but then Thiago would probably trip over that glove and get injured for the next 6 months. That's the point. I said we wouldn't sign many players this summer. I was hoping for one quality player, though, maybe another in January. I think there still could be something happening before the last week. I think so. There's I think there's a possibility that something happens. We do miss a dedicated defensive midfielder. Yeah, if you ever want dedication, but to be honest, I think we would have gone out for somebody more so if Gravenberch wasn't playing so well in that role for the last 3 or 4 games. I still have a theory we signed Tsimikas, and it's because 1920 he pocketed Adama Traore in the Europa when Adama was on fire. Yeah. Any games on tonight? EFL? I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I don't know what's on there now, so let me have a look there now. EFL tonight. I'll have a look for you. Upcoming EFL games. No matches tonight. Yep. Nothing. Oh, Championship. What am I doing? Nope. League 1? Nope. League 2? Nope. Carabao Cup? Nope. Bristol Street Motors Trophy. I have no idea what that is. Was that something else before? Anyway, Bayer Leverkusen are on. Should be a good one. Yeah, go check out the German league. See how Sepp Vandenberg is on unlucky. Just joking. No, he'll be playing against us on Sunday. Imagine he'd a masterclass. Anyway, no games tonight, I don't think. Yeah, look, we've this game, no Brentford. I'm going off my holidays on Sunday, so tomorrow is probably the last day you'll see me doing a show. And I think straight after the show tomorrow I'm going to bed because I'm up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to go travelling to the airport to get a flight. But I'm gone for 2 weeks, but I'll still be doing shows. I'll be popping on the phone with Jack while we're here, and Jack is fine, lads. He was busy at work and just doing a lot of things lately. So I'm able to do the shows at 6 o'clock, which is cushy. And he's in the background there somewhere, hanging out. He's probably working it on his phone. Anyway, even if we have injuries, we get someone from the academy and they do the job. I'm confident they do a great job. Literally what Klopp did last season, how United got Man U to fill the gastric set. That's the whole point of it. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the whole point of an academy just means. The whole point of an academy is to bring through players. The whole point of football is not to just keep going out and buying players, because there must be a point in having the kids in the academy if you don't upgrade them. I understand the Liverpool are a stature of a team, but you also have players of the stature of the team in the secondary academy. Like some of those academy players could play in, Wolves first team, Crystal Palace first team, You know, just even the lads that came up, Ipswich, any of them, you could probably take 5 kids out of our academy right now that would just go into that first team before those lads in there, and they have a handy enough team for the season. So yeah, Goodison Park. We're off to Kev. I'm heading to a place just outside Murcia. Me and the missus were trying to look in the apartment to see if we can buy over it, pretty much, so I can spend my winters sleeping in the sun without being freezing my butt off over here and in the snow and being miserable all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. And I can enjoy the Premiership games while sipping on a sangria. So that's what I want. I'm at that age, no pan off as well, you know. So I'm getting that. So where are we? No games tonight, even if we do. I actually thought Slot would have bought some of his own players in with him. Now we've seen the mistakes that makes. Look, your answer right there, Mark, is Ten Hag at Manchester United. Anthony. So he's after buying the Lit Marawatsi. What's the other guy? He's after buying a few of them. And these guys cost 23 million for Ajax. They've just cost United 263 million to get all of those guys over across the line. It's nuts money. We know what the fidget spinner's like. He's done nothing. Absolutely, except for scoring on his debut against us. But you know what other flop scored on his debut against us? Martial. The few of them out there, lads, in their first games for United have scored against Liverpool in their thing, and they won. It's like an omen from. Anyway, let's thank you, Chef, for the support tonight. We have a great Friday. Just like the look at Naoni, for example, or TAA, Foden, the best example out there on how the academy is a way to sustain. Because I tell you why, it's a risk spending all that money on a player to come in on a big name, and he mightn't suit the system. This is why I'm so glad that we do have Edwards in there for the data and the likes of that. And I like having Richard Hughes in there because I know his relationships are going to bode well for us for the future. So you have to lay off of these lads. They're literally in the job weeks. So I know everybody wants to do deals, but any deals that were going to be done pre-Edwards were all cancelled because Edwards said himself there was like ups for this person and that person, this manager and that much, and he put an end to it straight away because he just said it doesn't suit the data of how we want the Liverpool Football Club to run. So that's, I'm delighted with that. And exactly. So Neoni can come in if McAllister or Jones, any of them comes in, Neoni gets a chance. It's there. Looking forward to the match. Have a great weekend, everybody. Yes. Thanks, everyone. Smash this league. Are we done then, Jack, or is it just you getting off? We're all done. Everybody's done. I'm done myself. I'm going to go off there now and put my kids to sleep. And then I'm going to play a little bit of Black Myth Wukong. So if you haven't played that, I'd probably be doing that on my own channel. And you'll find that an Irish Spider Guy on Twitch or Spider on Facebook. Irish Spider Guy on YouTube as well if you look it up. But yeah, in other places you'll find me at Spider_LFC or Spider LFC, anything Liverpool related. And I'll be back with Jack tomorrow at 6 p.m. to do the Saturday show, and we'll probably just do a review of whatever games were on that day at the same time and have a chat amongst other things, any Liverpool team news leading up to the game on Sunday. So by that, there's 16 of you left inside our lads. If you could all leave a thumbs on the video and give it an old sub if you haven't subbed before. We'd appreciate it. And we'll see you there on Saturday. And Jack will see you, I suppose, for a watch along on Sunday. I'll be in sunny Spain shouting my head off in a dialect of Irish that not even the locals will understand. All right, lads? Look after yourselves. Good luck.